Hi, this is Cindy, and now I'm going to show you the media library. From your chapter page, click on Add Media. This takes you to a media library, and in this media library, all the pictures that are on the entire site, every chapter, every map, everything is in here. So if you scroll down, you'll see that there's a lot of stuff. We organize our media by categories. If you look here, you can see there's a category for every chapter and for the main items on the website, including trails and the state information and so forth. So I want to go to Holmes County chapter. Holmes County chapter will show some images because I have already uploaded some. Here I have 13 images that I've already uploaded. So now that you've seen how many photos are in our library and how many categories we have, it's going to be very important that you identify your photos with your chapter. I'll show you that later in the video, but I wanted to give you an idea of the volume of photos and media in our media library. Now that I've shown you how categories work, I'm going to go back to All so we can start at the same place. Okay, here we are. There's two tabs. One is the media library where I am, and the other one is Upload Files. I'm going to go ahead and click Upload Files. Before we upload our first photo, I'd like to take a moment to mention that higher quality images look much better than lower quality images. So what do I mean by that? Choose images that are of good quality, not blurry, and are interesting to look at. You want your images to tell a story. As a rule of thumb, choose images that are at least 800 pixels wide or 800 pixels tall. But that can vary depending on the size you're going to show it on your web page. For copyright purposes, please do not use images that you do not have permission to use, and do not use images that are copied from the web. As you can see here, you can select a file and choose it from your computer. Or you can choose a file from your Finder and drag it directly onto your work area. Okay, so now it appears over here on the right. And we need to go in and identify the photo and give information about it. If you think you'd like to use a caption at some point in time, go ahead and enter a caption. Otherwise, at this point, we'll just go ahead and scroll down and select our media category. So I'm going to select Homes. If you'd like to add more photos, go ahead to Upload Files and repeat the process. Now we have two photos in our media library. If I click on one, I can see the information about it in the right-hand side. And of course, it says Holmes County Chapter, as does this one. So now if I go to my media categories, I can select Holmes County Chapter from this group. We are now in the Holmes County Chapter Media Library. And here we can see the two images that I just added now appear in the Holmes County Library. If you ever want to delete a photo because you don't need it or because you uploaded the wrong one, simply click on it. Go over to the right here and click Delete Permanently. You'll get a message that asks you if you're sure you want to do this, and click OK. And now you can see that the image is gone. Another thing I would like to show you is how to edit images within the media library. The editing tools aren't that great, but if you need some minor cropping or some simple edits, you are able to do these. So I'm going to click on the image and go to Edit Image over here on the right side. The editing tool appears. This image is more horizontal, and I would like to make it more vertical, so I want to use the crop tool to do this. I click on the crop tool, and you can see that there's some little lines going all the way around it. We call those marching ants. There are also some little square points in the corners and on the edges of the image. I'm simply going to drag the left edge over and then drag the right side over, and click the crop tool again. The other features here are rotate image. So if I click on this button that has an arrow pointing right and down, it'll rotate it right. And one of my favorite buttons is always the undo. So I can click the undo button to undo this. The next two buttons flip things horizontally and vertically. So if I wanted the horse to be facing to the left instead of the right, I could click Flip Horizontal. And now you can see that the horse is facing the other way. However, I want it to face back the way it was, so I can either click Undo or click this button again. So now I'll click the Save button, and it will appear in my media library as a vertical picture. To exit out of the media area, simply click on the X up in the upper right-hand corner. That's all we have for adding media to the library. Now let's get ready to add our photos to our chapter page.